Hey everybody, my name is James.
Hi, I'm Shreya.
And we are here at the Animal and Vegan Advocacy Summit 2025 in New Delhi. Let's show you around.
We're in Delhi at the AVA Summit, and this is the first time it's happening in India. A space full of people working for animals, for better systems, and for a kinder future. One thing AVA Summits always get right, the food. Fully vegan, fully delicious, and Delhi went all out. Even the dessert counter had its own personality. There we go. Chocolate ice cream, vanilla ice cream, Amritsari halwa, and coconut and vanilla custard. Once I made sure I wasn't going to get distracted by good food, we started exploring this summit. First stop, womenwear. A brand that proves clothing can be more than fashion. It can be a conversation, a cause, and a mirror of what we stand for.
Womenwear is the world's first Causewear platform. So we started by designing collections for various social and environmental causes. We have a collection called Rise of the Vegans, which has a lot of designs around animal liberation. And the idea is to use sustainable fashion to create awareness and raise funds for causes. But something we realized over time is that while we are doing this, there are a lot of organizations, brands, creators who also want to be able to do much, which is for a cause which stands for values that they believe in, which is, something that they would want to share with their community and want the community to, go and get. So we built a platform called Womenwear where any creator, brand or non-profit can launch sustainable, ethical and profitable merchandise globally to anyone across the world.
Farah, Harshal and I spoke about building Causewear, telling stories through merch, and why creators should experiment with their own lines. Do I own the design as a creator? Like if I come up with a design?
If you partner with us, not only do you own the design, it's at any point of time you can choose to step out of the collection, like step out of the partnership, and all the designs go back with you. We will not be selling anything. So it's a very win-win on a mutual trust basis. By the same time, we have a complete legal agreement with all the points, everything in place. So we don't have to be confused or unclear about what's there and what's not there.
Very cool. Next, we spent time with the team at Humane World for Animals. They've been pushing animal protection forward in India for years. Policy, training, on-ground work, everything.
We are Humane World for Animals. We work across all species for all animals. Specifically here, we're talking a bit about our farmed animal welfare work, where we work across stakeholders, across the board. So we work with corporate consumers, we work with producers at the farmer level, we work with government, we work with educational institutions, we work wherever you may think animals are there, we're there. End of animal cruelty!
We also met the team working on cage-free reforms, the kind of change that directly improves the lives of farmed animals. Quiet work, but powerful work. I'm here with Rohit from PFA, and he's going to tell me a little bit more about the organization and what they stand for.
So we help animals. We work towards their welfare by working on policy. So we collaborate with the government both at the central and state level, and we ensure that the existing legislation is well enforced, and whatever needs to be added to the existing legislation, we work towards that with the government. And along the similar lines, we also engage with corporates to primarily help the farmed animals, because we feel like they are the most suffering categories among all the categories of animals. So that's what we primarily do as an organization.
James and I also squeezed in a quick conversation at the summit, and yes, he ended it with a rap. You'll see, wait for it. What brings a white boy to India?
White Boy in India, that's actually the documentary I'm working on currently. And it's all about the travels of a white man and the multiple episodes of diarrhea that he suffers.
Seriously though, how has India been for you and what brings you here?
India has been, I would say crazy, actually. India's been like, you know, I've never been. This is my first time in India. I've been here about 12 days before AVA started. And I've been in a part of a very intense program that you're also part of called Kickstarting for Good in Berlin. And after Berlin, went to Poland for CARE conference and then back to Berlin and had like so much socialization that I was just completely wiped out. So I was like, I'm going to go to India pre-AVA and I'm just going to go to the mountains. And I'm just going to have a nice relaxing 10 days in the mountains. So I'm currently at AVA representing a organization that I co-founded last year called Fauna Films. And what we're trying to do is basically, I moved to Indonesia 6 years ago. I've been living there. And I fell in love with the people. I fell in love with the land. And I still, at the time that I moved there, I was doing a lot of street outreach. So I would talk to Indonesians and have these like amazing conversations about plant-based diets, factory farming, veganism. And I'd always give them a card after. It was like, I think I was doing it with AV or We the Free or something. And I'd give them this card and it would have all these documentaries on it. What the Health, Cowspiracy, Game Changers, epic documentaries, Forks Over Knives. They're incredible.
Yeah.
And they were documentaries that had impacted me heavily. And so I always wanted everyone to see them. And I'd never heard this argument before, but Indonesians would look at the card and they'd say, oh, I've heard of these documentaries before. And I know they're high quality and whatever, but they're all super white. They're not from my country. They don't speak to me in the language I speak. Like, how is this going to be ever seen to me as anything other than foreign? And I just never heard that before. I typically did outreach in like Australia, Europe, the US. And so like global north countries just didn't have that pushback against some of these like education pieces. And so it got me thinking like regions in the world that are typically underrepresented and often underfunded just don't have like high quality visual media to guide their decisions in this direction. And so that's exactly what Fauna Films does. We're trying to bring high quality documentaries on mainstream distributors to areas in the global south that just don't have access to them yet. And so that's why I'm here in India. We already have a big project in Indonesia called Tumbuh di Khatulistiwa, which means grown on the equator. It's in the local language. It's made entirely by a local team, except for me. I'm the only foreigner on the team. And we have a similar project in Mongolia. And that's also what we're trying to bring to India, is just creating really high quality, hopefully network available content pieces, you know, long format, either series or documentaries that help inspire compassion for the people living here.
You're so right, because the context was missing even for me. I've watched all of those documentaries that you mentioned, and that's the reason I went vegan. But whenever I talk to dairy about people in India, they don't really have the local context, the Indian context. And there's just one documentary, it's called Maa Ka Doodh, and that's on YouTube.
And Maa Ka Doodh's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's a huge bummer it wasn't picked up. And I think when you can get something onto a network, it has an extra, I guess, piece behind it of like quality. Like people hear that Netflix picks something up or HBO or whatever, and they respect it more, and they respect the opinions in it from doctors or whoever's in there because they've been featured on a mainstream platform. And so I know that it's got to be part of the strategy. We're trying to go after a pretty large portion of the population with some of this stuff, and I would say that we don't have everything nailed down yet. But for Indonesia, we're using celebrities. I think that's a huge piece that can it helps in a lot of ways. Like people listen to celebrities, they love them in a lot of ways. They love listening to them, they love their opinions, and they like hearing about what their views on the world. And so in Indonesia, our host, his name is Andovido Lopez. He's a big time celebrity, comedian, political activist, and he's also been vegan for 7 years. That doesn't hurt. And so he's kind of helping us go through, basically we're traveling around Indonesia, learning about all these plant-based foods, and he's also learning about something that we all just learned about called gastro-colonialism. And basically in this episode, we're speaking with this expert. It's like the 4th episode out of all of them. And he's like, oh, it's cool that you've tried all these plant-based foods, but did you know that before colonization, Indonesia was basically entirely plant-based? We were self-sustaining. We grew all of our own food from the ground, from the earth. We ate it from the earth. And now we've got people selling in the market. So he took us to this market on an island called NTT, East Nusa Timor, East Nusa Tenggara, something like that. Sorry, it's NTT in my world. And he took us to this island, and basically we went to this market, and all the people in the market were selling their bananas and their potatoes and their fresh fruits and vegetables for white rice, meat, and eggs. And it was so crazy for him to explain to us that like Indonesia has this huge problem with stunting, where children are not growing properly. They're literally like not developing properly because they're not consuming the correct nutrition. And a lot of that is because from colonization, a lot of these foods have been ripped away from them. And they're
Same for India.
Same for India, exactly. And so I think that may be an important piece, and I realize that it's probably a little strange having like someone who's from like a very largely colonizing country talk about these things, but I learn about them because of the local teams we work with, and so I feel like I'm learning so much. It's very interesting. And so in India, I'm learning that like pre-colonization, there was no dairy. This was brought over, and yet if you talk to, I think...
At least no industrialized
dairy. Exactly, yeah. In the scale that it exists today, where it's consumed every day, that didn't exist. And yeah, the idea that this is now something that feels cultural. It feels like dairy is integral to who Indians are and the way that they consume food. And the idea that was actually something kind of forced on them is I think a very interesting piece that we may go into.
I love that.
And this is maybe an interesting time to share that, Shreya, we've talked, because we're both in K4G, we've talked about potential collaborations that maybe you'll come on as a producer. I hope everyone in the audience has their hands together, because I really want...
guys, being forced into this.
Definitely.
I'm not paid enough for this job.
At all, currently. We'll talk about that.
That's what I mean. So any wage gap issues I need to bring up, I'm bringing it up open.
directly to me, we'll figure those out together.
I would love to, obviously, but you're so right, and I'll say this quite often, that dairy is a residue of colonialism in India, and people don't know that and don't see it that way. But the supply chain that was built, that dairy would supply to the beef industry, and the beef industry would supply to the leather industry, which is why we're one of the biggest exporters and producers of beef and leather in the world. It's coming from that chain that was set up post-colonization.
Yeah. From the country with more vegetarians than any other in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So but what's your hope for India?
Impact. I hope that we can create something that people watch and they see it as being high quality, something they're interested in, and something that changes hearts and minds. Yeah. I mean, all of our films, the big goal is to have people watch them and feel something. Okay. Because I think that's what's missing in the world right now is empathy and compassion, and we all have that deep down. But I think our connection to animals and to the earth and to really who we are has been in so many ways stripped away from us. And it's been stripped away from us by systems that are not solid and that can be changed and torn apart and reimagined. And I'm hoping that the films that we help create here in India with all of the amazing people we work with can be a small piece in creating some of that change.
Love that. We have to end with a rap, James.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
You're going to rap, right? I'm going to beatbox? That's
how it is? You're going to rap. Either one of your
existing
raps or come up with a new one for India. Let's go.
Okay. God, I need a beat. Like, it can't be...
You're not getting that from me. I have zero, rhythm in my body.
Okay. Yo, it's India, where are we coming? Showing you the thing. God, this is tough. It's gonna be bad. I don't know what I'm doing.
Let's do it.
Hey, yo, it's I said it's I said I've been traveling around through the mountains. It's like the youth and they all found the fountain. Okay, yeah, we got lots of dosa in the belly, and I'm feeling like it's the most that I've ever eaten. And it's getting swelly, but there's no problem. It's so delicious. Yeah, potatoes, they be so nutritious. You know that I'm on the best podcast in the world. It's my homie, and yeah, she's the best damn girl with the podcast, Shreya. Yeah, okay, that's it. That's all we're doing. That was a freestyle. It was not written. If I write, it's a little bit better. And there was no beat.
I don't know about that.
There was no beat.
Yeah, right.
And I will do a small self-plug there. Yeah. Is that I'm going to be releasing 2 albums is my goal in 2026.
So can we not hear something from that? We should hear something from what you've already written, put out there, so people know it's not as bad.
Do you know how weird
as what it was?
You know what? How about this? This is a song called Zombies. And I'll skip to the chorus. This is so weird.
Love making him do this. This is a payback for all the birthday songs you sang. Huh? It's a payback for all the happy birthday songs you sang.
Deal. You're forcing me to do this on the podcast to the public. Got it. Here we go. You see the zombies like, oh my gosh. It's weird, I've never done this before. You see the zombies, they're everywhere, they're stuck inside my dreams. The zombies, they won't disappear till they killed everything. Consume, 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 that's all that's in their brains. And they'll do that every second till there's nothing that remains. And they're like, dude, let's get the grills out this weekend. I'm feeling some steak. All right. Please never make me do that again.
You love me. I love you. It's okay. Thank you for doing that.
Absolutely. You're
Is there anything anyone listening to this can do to help you shoot some ideas?
Actually, yes. So something we're going to be launching in 2026 is a program called the Fauna Films Impact Lab. And it's basically inviting organizations and activists who care about creating a more just world through ending the exploitation of animals, changing diets away from factory farming, for example. Anything in those topics. Basically, you can go to our website. It's called faunafilms.org/impactlab. And it's basically a portal where we're inviting activists and organizations to reach out to us and say, hey, I have an amazing story, but I'm not a filmmaker. And I need help in order to tell the story. We will bring a team to you and professionally, with the highest quality gear and experience and all that, help you basically tell the story, create short films that will then help you market, will help you with distribution, production, pre-production, editing, everything. We take care of all that stuff. And so if you have an idea for India, for example, and you're like, wow, I know about this athlete or an animal at a sanctuary or anything, that's what we want to do, is we want to help people tell those stories.
Love that so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, James.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
All right.
The energy at AVA was something else. Activists, founders, non-profit, storytellers, everyone in one space, learning from each other and building momentum.
We've had an incredible 2 days. I'm so glad AVA happened for the first time in India, and we got to be a part of it. And this is the perfect way to end. That it's not enough to love animals. We must actively protect and preserve them.
It's our duty and responsibility as custodians of this incredible planet that we live on.
Go vegan.